one of the best. You got him for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt. The World of Outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back tonight to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we go back side by side with the Extreme Motorsports 99. Tonight is the Pennzoil 400, that's the Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. Your commentator Sean Zulu, and up in the Dre Broadcasting booth with me is David Everly as usual. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing pretty good, Sean. How you doing?
Doing good too, thank you. Just excited to be back here with the Extreme Motorsports 99 Pro K&N Series after having quite the race last week at Chicagoland Speedway. That was the American Ethanol 225, round number 12. Speaking of that race, in that race we had Steve Dutz bring it home for his second win of the season. Jay Pryor came out second, Travis Pryor came out third, Damian Crump came out fourth, Jason Eisenhower came out 5th, Garrett Helmlinger 6th, Wally Tierheimer 7th, Joshua Gillen 8th, Rick Mason 9th, and Gary Woobot did round up the top 10 in last week's race. And ladies and gentlemen, defending champion Hunter McDaniel, it is a free lunch program where he's not defending his title once again, so it's for anybody to take. But speaking of the standings, we have Travis Pryor still leading in points. He is 33 points ahead of second place driver Wally Tierheimer, who just moved from third place to second place this week from last week. And Wally Tierheimer is only 3 points ahead of third place driver in points, and that is Timothy Hamlet. Timothy Hamlet in turn is 11 points ahead of fourth place driver Garrett Helmlinger. Garrett Helmlinger 8 points ahead of fifth place driver Tommy Amasi. We have Eli Green 6th place in points. Caleb Daniels is 7th place in points, only 1 point ahead of 8th place driver Gary Woobot. At the same time, Gary Woobot is only 3 points ahead of 9th place driver Damien Crump, and Damien Crump himself 2 points ahead of 10th place driver Adam Eisenhower. Ladies and gentlemen, Travis Pryor, Wally Tierheimer, Timothy Hamlet, Garrett Helmlinger, Tommy Amasi, Eli Green, Caleb Daniels, Gary Woobot, Damien Crump, and Adam Eisenhower. Top 10 drivers in the point standings. And ladies and gentlemen, like I just talked about this, the points are very, very close. Only 2 more races after tonight's race to the end of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens once we get to the final race. But tonight, these drivers are trying to either advance their spots or keep everybody else behind them as far as they possibly can. Well, going back to tonight's race here tonight, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Well, Dave, what are we dealing with? Oh, looks like it's not available. But here tonight we have an 86-degree Fahrenheit track temperature, partly cloudy with 78-degree Fahrenheit air temperature. It is late afternoon with winds from the north at 2 miles per hour. And as usual, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers have a 50% fuel limit, that is 50%. So we should expect to see 2 to 3 required green flag pit stops in order for the drivers to be able to make it the full length of the way, 125 laps. That is 125 laps, ladies and gentlemen. A long way to go. A lot needs to be done at the exact same time. And this track is 1.5 miles in length. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the broadcast. Please type it up, get active in the chat, say something. Let us know what's on your mind. Gonna go all the way to the top and give a bunch of shout outs to everybody who typed something there in the chat. And welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are returning and or existing viewers, but for the new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. And we hope you guys enjoy the show tonight by the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. We had Brandon Ketchum there in the chat. Hashtag Team Gillen Motorsports. Welcome, Brandon. It's great to see you again. Maverick Motorsports, go get it. That is Pat T. Hope you're doing well tonight, Pat. And welcome back as usual. We also have Joshua Gillen as well in the chat. Welcome back, Joshua. And good luck tonight to you and your team here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And so far, seems like those are the only viewers who have typed it up. So please, everybody else, say something in the chat. Let us know you're here. And once again, thank you for being here. Well, the grid is now ready, ladies and gentlemen, and the post hitter tonight is the points leader, 81, of Travis Pryor, but not too far behind him, qualifying 2 thousandths of a second behind him is Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vandervoort, starting second, the 9 of Steve Dutz, who did win last week's race at Chicagoland, starting third, the 80 Jay Pryor, fourth, 86 of Adam Eisenhower, fifth, the 49 of Timothy Hamlet, sixth, the 13 of Eli Green, 7th, 77 Brian Wasserman starting 8th, 59 of David White, 9th, and Wally Tierheimer in the 10th place position. And Wally Tierheimer only 33 points behind the points leader, Travis Pryor. We have Garrett Helmlinger starting 11th, Hal Amy 12th, that 40, that's the 40 of Joshua Gillen, 13th. That 25 of Timothy McBrayer, the McDonald's machine, 14th. That 33 of Vernon Markheim, 15th. 05 of Tommy M. Massey, 16th. The 78 of Jeremy Rigney, starting 17th. That 7 of Gary Woobot, 18th. Jason Eisenhower, 19th. And Damien Crump in the 20th place position. 18 of Rick Mason, 21st. Thomas Jarvis Jr., 22nd. Leonard West in the 23rd place spot. Chris Voyles, 24th. Andrew Riley, 25th. And those are all the drivers who qualified here tonight. But further down this list, we have James Thorndike, Brandon Ketchum, and Aaron Mercer rounding up the rest of the field, giving us about 27, 28 drivers starting tonight's race. The Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. Well, we are now rolling, ladies and gentlemen, being led by a post-sitter here tonight, 81 of Travis Pryor. But keep in mind the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, Mr. Highside himself. This is one of the tracks that really use that outside line very well in the later stages of the races, of the runs. So we're going to be seeing a lot of high side action from Ralph Vanderforst. Fingers crossed for that. And this lineup: Travis Pryor, Steve Dute inside line, Ralph Vanderforst, Jay Pryor outside line, and side by side going green the first time this time around. Exiting turn 4, the pace car dipping off before too long. Yes, it leaves a racing surface, and Travis finds the gas, but a great start by Travis Pryor. He catches everybody off guard as the 9 of Steve Deuce gets around Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst. Lap 1, turn 1, the Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. In the chat, we have a new viewer. That's FWB Flash. Come on, Vanderforst. Welcome, FWB. Hope you're doing well tonight, and hope you enjoy the show tonight as usual. And a lot of side-by-side going on already as the drivers trying to take while they can. Some side-by-side. 8-0 of Jay Pryor, 86 of Adam Eisenhower. But Eisenhower bumped down one spot by Jay Pryor, as Jay Pryor's next victim being the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst, Mr. Highside himself. And Jay has come from 5th place to 4th place, and now the next spot is the 3rd place position. And for the back in this pack, we also have 94 of Garrett Helmlinger under fire, under pressure from the 77 of Brian Wasserman. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a driver's track. That's right, a driver's track. These drivers are going to have to start driving these machines, driving these machines here before too long. The first 5 laps, they'll be able to go all the way to the floorboard for a couple of laps. But after that, they'll have to start actually lifting and starting to plan on saving those tires to set themselves up for the long run. And we have a battle going on for the 4th place spot up front. Ralph Vanderforst, Adam Eisenhower side by side. Oh man, crossover was being attempted by Ralph Vanderforst, but not enough to make it stick due to a lap tap between him and Adam Eisenhower off the exit of turn 2. And further back in the pack, we have the 83 of Hal Amy on the inside of 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about how this is round number 13 of 15. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. After this race here tonight, we'll have only 2 more races left in the Pro K&N Series next week, going to Michigan, and to end the race, to end the season, we'll be heading to Homestead, Miami on February 5th. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, sign-ups are opening up. That's right, sign-ups are opening up to be a part of the action. If you would like to be a member of the Pro K&N Series, to qualify, you must have a minimum of 1,000 I rating. That's 1,000 I rating minimum, with a maximum of 2,500 or 2,500. I repeat, minimum 1,000 I rating, maximum 2,500 or 2,500. So sign-ups once again are opening, and you guys will not be disappointed. So ExtremeMotorsports99.com select the series, and Extreme starts with the X, and delete the E in Extreme and start with the X, extrememotorsports99.com, and select the Pro K&N Series and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and it lets you know exactly just what you need to be a part of the action. Well, a new viewer there in the chat, actually 2 new viewers. We have Austin Livingstone. Welcome, Austin Livingstone. Hope you're doing well. Go hard, Helmlinger 94. Garrett Helmlinger has a cheerleader there, Austin. And welcome, Austin. Hope you're doing well tonight. And Pac-Man is back. Welcome back, Pac-Man. Hope you're doing well tonight. It's great to see you as usual. And what up, folks? Hashtag Team Gillen. Yeah, Team Gillen has a lot of support there in the chat. It's amazing to see, and keeps them going with every single race, every single week. And some side-by-side going on as we speak. Some drivers still trying to take while they can. 49 of Hamlet was overtaken by 77 of Brian Wasserman. And now Helmlinger being approached by the 40 of Joshua Gillen. And Gillen gets around the 49 of Timothy Hamlet as we spoke there between turns number 1 and 2 off the exit of turn 2. He's now in the draft of 77 of Brian Wasserman, but looks like the 49 of Hamlet gets a good run off the exit of turn 2. But entering turn 3, he does have a little bit of a bad entry, and that is going to cost him off the exit of turn 4. And for the back in this pack, we have the 18 of Rick Mason being approached by the 05 of Tommy Amasi. A very, very big momentum difference between the two drivers, and the 05 of Tommy Amasi gets around Rick Mason successfully. But so far, Rick Mason just trying to buy his time in that Goodyear machine, trying to save these tires, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers who save the most tires will be the most successful in the long run, and these guys know that. And we have Thomas Jarvis Jr. as well on the inside of Rick Mason behind the 05 of Tommy Amasi in the draft. And a status check on Mr. Highside himself, who did start in the second place spot. He has dropped back a lot, and I'm not sure why. He's dropped 13 spots back since the last time we checked on him. He is currently in the 15th place spot. He does have some right rear damage and some right front damage. And this brings me to another point. The outside line of the exit of turn 2 is not the best place. The machine seems to be pushing on the exit of turn 2. So tonight, before the race ends, we'll see a lot more drivers get collected by the turn 2 wall. So fingers crossed. Oh man, as we spoke right there, we almost had one more driver get claimed by it, and that was 83 of Hal Amy, but no harm done. And Hal Amy the Third in the chat. Welcome back, Hal Amy the Third, and that is the son to Hal Amy, who is racing tonight here in the 83, currently in the 14th place spot. And welcome back, Hal Amy. Hope you're doing well tonight. Well, further back in the pack, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer. Aaron Mercer is trying to make some moves as we speak. He is right behind the 18 of Rick Mason, and Rick Mason in turn behind the 79 of Thomas Jarvis Jr. But now we have a motor roaring in the rear end of the 1-2-2 of Mercer, and that is the 112 of Brandon Ketchum with the Wounded Warrior paint scheme. And the field seems to be getting nothing but spread out with every single lap. And a status check up front, we have Travis Pryor having an 8/10 of a second lead against second place driver, the 9 of Steve Dukes, last week's winner at Chicagoland Speedway. He said he was going to come with the exact same momentum from last week to this week. So here before too long, he just might start giving the 81 of Pryor a run for his money. In the 8-0 of Jay Pryor, currently in the 3rd place spot. We have Adam Eisenhower 4th and Eli Green in the 5th place position. And the 86 of Adam Eisenhower seems to have the fastest machine during practice. But so far, she seems to just be taking it easy, trying to save these tires on the caution flies on lap 17. Gonna see what happened.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to involve the 33 of Vern Markheim as we pull up the Dre broadcasting replay. We're going to focus on the 33 of Vern Markheim to see if we can see what happened. Looks like the transition from the apron to the track just caused him to lose it as he is trying to get some extra speed there. Didn't really, and unfortunately it looks like the 31 of Andrew Riley involved in there. Couple other cars, but that is going to be a rough start to this race.
Oh man, absolutely. Oh, and he took some serious flight right there after the contact with the wall. Well, actually, he got hit by 31 of Andrew Riley, who had nowhere to go. And heavy smoke from the rear end of Vern Markham, who is moving sideways as we speak, trying to go down a pit road. Actually, he just blew his motor right there. Oh man, Vern. He's had some bad luck here lately in the season, but his race seems to be picking up. Actually, looks like he did not blow his motor. He was just clutching it in because those temps do end up skyrocketing due to that heavy black smoke from the rear end of the machine. Well, going back up front, we have Travis Pryor leading everybody down pit road, and everybody follows. With a new viewer in the chat, actually new viewers, we have Matthew Cisna in the chat. That's Matthew Cisna, including Don Cater Jr. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing well tonight, and thanks for tuning in. Oh, looks like the race off pit road has been won by the 9 of Steve Dutz. And Travis Pryor losing 2 spots on pit road to Steve Dutz and Jay Pryor. So it comes out in the 3rd place spot. And we'll have Eli Green coming out 4th. And Adam Eisenhower in the 5th place position, rounding up the top 5. And so far, we have one driver new to the top 10, and that is the 40 of Joshua Gillen from the 13th place spot to 8th place as we speak. A lot more spots to be gained by Joshua Gillen before this race ends. Also have the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy Rigney from 17th to 12th behind the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. And we have one driver being shown one lap down. That is the 31 of Andrew Riley. And Vern Markheim, a status check on him. Vern Markheim was able to stay on the lead lap and got his only backup car, ladies and gentlemen. We forgot to mention that. The drivers here, as usual, they do have one quick fix, one backup car. So in the case of Vern Markheim, is able to stay in it to win it. Same with the 31 of Andrew Riley, who is in desperate need for another caution, so he can be able to get the lucky dog and be back on the lead lap with everybody else. In the updated top 10, Steve Dutz, Jay Pryor, Travis Pryor, Eli Green, Adam Eisenhower, 59 of David White, Joshua Gillen, Brian Wasserman, Wally Tierheimer, and Garrett Helmlinger. These drivers 1st through 10th place respectively right there. And that will change. It's going to keep going up and down, just pretty much jumbling up throughout the whole entire race. We had a 17-lap green flag shootout right there, and the drivers started to feel the effects of the tires. And that they were able to pretty much study the machines, because these machines do act differently in practice versus the race conditions. Well, we are now back 1 to green, ladies and gentlemen. We are being led still by Steve Dutz with the help of 81 of Travis Pryor on the outside line, the 80 of Jay Pryor with the help of 13 of Eli Green. And ladies and gentlemen, Extreme Motorsports 99.com, Monday nights a Road Series and a Pro K&N Series, Tuesday nights Track Series, Wednesday nights Xfinity Series, and Thursday nights Cup Series. So you guys can join either of those based on your experience, because they do place you... Oh man, I just heard a big loud boom on the track. Okay, we're still rolling. I guess no harm done. But you guys can join any of the series based on how much experience you have, because they do place you in a different series based on how much experience that you have. And we are now going green this time around for the second time. The Pennzoil 400, round 13. And the pace car dips off, and a 9 of Steve Dutes finds the gas pedal, while Jay Pryor on the outside line saw it coming in time to maintain second place against Travis Pryor and the 13 of Eli Green. But Eli Green falls back in line behind the 81 of Pryor to defend his spot against the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. And ladies and gentlemen, a big shout out to Kevin Tarver in the chat. Kevin Tarver, big shout out. Hope you're watching out there. Hope you're doing well. The 40 of Joshua Gillen's machine gets tight entering turn 1. As a result, he's going to lose 2 spots to 59 of David White and 77 of Brian Wasserman, but is able to hold off or up his pace in time to avoid losing 1 more spot to 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. Helmlinger under fire from the 75 of Tierheimer. And while Tierheimer's machine has seen better days, some rear end damage on the right side, but still is still tracking behind the 40 of Joshua Gillen for 8th place. And we have some more battles going on. 78 of Jeremy Rigney, 36 Jason Eisenhower, 49 of Timothy Hamlet. But right now Hamlet and Eisenhower side by side as we speak for the 13th place position. And Jason drives it in deep and hard, entering turn number 1. And off turn 2 is going to try and go high. Nope, he cannot go high. His outside is occupied by a driver who got a slingshot off turn 249 of Tim Hamlet. And Jason following the race line of both the 78 of Jeremy Rigney and the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst. Mr. High Side himself, and 49 of Hamlet is not giving up just yet. Yeah, but looks like entering turn 1, he just backs it off to try and save these tires, get the perfect entrance, and avoid scrubbing those tires even more, and gives the spot to 13 of Eisenhower. Actually, I mean 36 of Eisenhower. A status check on the 33 of Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim is back in the 23rd place spot with a brand new machine behind 25 of Timothy McBrayer, his next victim for position number 22. At the same time, Vernon Markheim has the 7 of Gary Woobot behind him, and Woobot's machine as well has some right front damage, some right rear damage as well, but despite that, the machine is still doing well. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, at this 1.5 mile track, these drivers running all the way from 29 second lap times to about 29 to about 31, just depending on tire wear. But so far, the majority of the field is running about 30-second lap times, so the pace is still there. And the 6-0 of Leonard West. I haven't spoken much of Leonard West here tonight, but he is here in the 25th place spot behind the 7 of Gary Woobot and ahead of 28 of Chris Voiles. But going back up front, Steve Dukes having a 0.2 of a second lead against second place driver 81 of Travis Pryor. These drivers seem to have put away from the field quite a bit, because the next driver in line, third place driver Jay Pryor, being shown 1 second behind these two drivers, or at least behind the leader, the 9 of Steve Dukes. We have Eli Green 2.2 seconds behind Steve Dukes, while Adam Eisenhower in the fourth place spot is about 1.5 seconds behind. A lot of single file going on as we speak. At the same time, the field is getting nothing but spread out, more and more spread out. We have the closest drivers, the top two drivers up front, 1/10 of a second apart, and then from there it goes to a second back. Jay Pryor's 2 seconds apart, 2 seconds back. Eli Green 3 seconds back. David White 4 seconds back. Garrett Helmlinger 5 seconds back. Jeremy Rigney, and from there it keeps going, nothing but lower down the list, with 31 of Andrew Riley still being the first driver 1 lap down, and Chris Voyles, last driver on the lead lap. And a new viewer in the chat, that is J-Dog Gaming. Welcome back, J-Dog. Hope you're doing well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with 34 laps left and 34 laps complete and 92 laps remaining, now 91. We're going to take our first commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. Existing and returning viewers, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well tonight. And this season is coming to an end with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com, the Monday night Pro K&N Series, the Tuesday night Track Series, Wednesday night Xfinity Series, and Thursday night Cup Series. So you guys can join either of those because the signups are opening up before too long. So ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, going back to the race, here we are still green flag racing. Steve Dutz in the lead, Jay Pryor being shown second, Travis Pryor third, Adam Eisenhower fourth, Joshua Gillen 5th, we have 13 Eli Green 6th, Brian Wasserman 7th, Wally Tierheimer 8th, David White 9th, and Ralph Vanderforst rounding up the top 10 in the 10th place position. We are here 45 laps into tonight's race, and these drivers last pitted in 27 laps ago. The caution flies this time around.
With Tommy Massey, as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, we're going to go back and take a look and see what happened. As we focus on the 05 with Tommy Massey, as he was running, got into the outside wall, lost it, and unfortunately it looks like the 25 is Timothy Cabrera involved, and that looks like that's all that's going to be involved in that incident.
Oh man, very unfortunate for every single driver involved, both drivers, Tommy Massey and Timothy McBrayer. Oh man, yeah, turn 2 claims another victim. Very unfortunate, but going back up front, these drivers will be going down pit road because at this point they have 28 laps on their tires and tanks, and yes, they are being led by Steve Dutz. And 31 of Andrew Riley staying out to get the lucky dog. And around the pace car, Andrew Riley goes, and now everybody back on the lead lap. Nine of Steve Dutz was able to maintain the lead off pit road. Right behind him is Jay Pryor, second, Adam Eisenhower third, Joshua Gillen fourth, and Wally Tierheimer in the 5th place spot off pit road. And this gives us time to get a race interview in. Gonna focus on the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us up in the booth is the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Get up there, Jeremy.
Hey, man. How's it going tonight?
Good, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm back in the saddle. I took a few weeks off. Yeah,
man, we missed you, man. It's great to have you back. And you've come back with a with quite the momentum, you know, to win tonight's race. You did start in the 17th place spot, just kept a low profile all race long this far. How's the machine doing?
Hey, it's doing really good. It's taken me a second to kind of learn my brake points here on the track when the tires go away, but I'm just trying to stay back here a little bit and try to make a run to the front a little later on.
Oh, 10-4 sounds like a plan. And with the way the machine's been handling, you know, do you see yourself, basically, where do you see yourself on lap 125 with this much competition?
I don't know, man. I mean, these guys got really fast since the last time I've been out here. I'm going to give myself top 5 here.
Oh, copy that, brother. Well, buddy, welcome back. It's great to have you back here with the Extreme Motorsports 99. We look forward to seeing you 8 spots higher. We'll get back to the driver's seat and make us proud.
All right. Thanks, Sean.
That was 78 of Jeremy Rigney, currently in the 9th place spot. He just gained about 5 spots there on pit road. Actually, yeah, 8 spots on pit road. And he's getting nothing but higher up there, even though he's giving himself a top 5. I'm going to give him a top 3, a podium finish here tonight with a discount tire machine. Very well dressed. But up front here, the lights on the pace car do turn off. We are back 1 to green. Yes, we are being led by Steve Dutz with the help of 86 of Adam Eisenhower. On the outside line, Jay Pryor with the help of the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen. Oh, and 2 new drivers to the top 10. We have Damian Crump from 20th to 8th, and the 78 of Jeremy Rigney from 17th to 10th. And speaking of Damian Crump, I haven't spoken much of Damian tonight, if any. He wasn't just riding there back there for the longest time, and now he's in the top 10. And every time we see Damian in the top 10, it's very, very difficult to get rid of him. And his machine has seen better days. Looks like he got a piece of the action somewhere. He has some right side damage and some damage as well on the hood, but a lot of determination to go with it. In the chat, we have Evo PC Gaming. I don't believe I said hello to Evo PC, but welcome back, Evo PC. Hope you're doing well tonight. We also have Dakota Craig in the chat. Welcome back, Dakota Craig. Hope you're doing well. Well, that pace car dips off, and the 9 of Steve Dutz finds the gas pedal, catches everybody off guard. The green flag is out. The 8-0 of Jay Pryor is able to see it in time to maintain the 2nd place spot against the 40 of Joshua Gillen and the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, who are now side by side, but the 40 of Gillen is going to suffer off the exit of turn 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the outside line is not the place to be on a start or restart unless you see the start coming by the leader. Other than that, it's always a bad idea, it seems like. But we have 75 of Wally Tierheimer behind the 40 of Joshua Gillen, and despite the damage on the 75 machine, it is still trucking. And speaking of Wally Tierheimer here tonight, he is once again 33 points behind Travis Pryor for 1st place, and is determined to get the job done. But, you know, 33 points are a lot to make up, man, you know, against Travis Pryor, points leader. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. At this point, everybody, including, you know, Wally Tierheimer and 3rd place driver in points, Timothy Hamlet, these 2 drivers are really hoping for some bad luck, some bad races, bad finishes by the 81 of Travis Pryor, so they can be able to better benefit themselves here in the point standings and maybe be crowned as the 2nd ever champions of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. Ladies and gentlemen, gonna hang on to your seats. It's gonna be a bumpy ride to the championship, and cannot wait. Well, here for the back in this pack, we have the 49 of Timothy Hamlet being challenged by the 59 of David White. Crossover engaged by David White against Timothy Hamlet for the 9th place position. And here David on the inside line, Hamlet on the outside line, but Slingshot engaged by Hamlet off turn 4 and leading quite the nose. Actually has a good lead against David White and maintains the 9th place spot against him. At the same time, Brian Wasserman is coming ever closer to the top 2, to the 2 drivers battling. That's White and Hamlet. He goes up the track off turn 2, gets a very good exit off of it with a draft of the 59 of David White. And that does a Keith's machine being rocked by Brian Wasserman as usual.
Well, with just 55 laps to go, I think we should be able to make it on with just one more pit stop there, Sean.
Oh, yep, sounds about right. Yeah, 55 laps in, 71 laps remaining. Actually, maybe 2 pit stops. Yeah, 71 laps remaining, but they are just only 9 laps in. So we're going to see exactly how things play out here before too long in the next upcoming stages. These drivers still going at it. And so far we have 79 of Thomas Jarvis Jr. behind 33 of Vernon Markheim, going nice and strong. His next victim being the 77 of Brian Wassman, who is about 5/10 of a second ahead of him. And for the back in the pack, the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer. Aaron Mercer here keeps getting, he's gaining a few spots every single lap. It seems like he had kept a low profile there early on in the race, but now seems like he's just trying to take while he can, by not forcing any issues. And his next victim so far being the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. At the exact same time, he has a 13 of Eli Green right behind him. And we had some side-by-side between 25 of Timothy McBrayer and the 18 of Rick Mason. And speaking of Timothy McBrayer was involved in the last caution, the incident that brought out the caution. He used his backup car. The McDonald's machine is very, very pretty out there, man. Not a single scratch on it. Now behind the 7 of Gary Woolbot and back up to speed, determined to get the job done even more than before. And going back up front, Steve Dutz has increased his lead against second place driver Jay Pryor. Actually scratched that. Well, he increased it to about 8/10 of a second last lap, but now it went down to 7/10 of a second. Looks like Jay Pryor is running him down, and Steve Dutz has changed up his race line, going from the bottom lane. He's now going all the way from the middle lane to the high lane, saving those tires, going all the way to the highest line possible between turns number 3 and 4. And early on there, during the restart, we had Travis Pryor. Well, Travis Pryor's lost a lot of time from the last time we checked on him. He is currently in the 17th place spot, now being shown behind the 13 of Eli Green. Just got around the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer, and is using the draft of Eli Green to benefit himself. At the same time, Eli Green drafting off the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. But not to be mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, the draft does not work as you might think. Not as good as it works at a track like Daytona or Talladega, but some 3 wide. Nope, Eli Green backs it down to avoid the 3 wide action, but side by side between 94 of Helmlinger and the 81 of Travis Pryor. And that's 79 of Thomas Jarvis Jr. saving some tires on the outside line. 3 wide against him by Travis Pryor and Garrett Helmlinger. They do go back double wide as the 81 of Pryor got around both the 94 of Helmlinger and the 79 of Thomas Jarvis Jr. in one lap, going from the 15th place spot to 13th. But Eli Green, 94 of Helmlinger, now on the inside of 79 of Jarvis Jr. Yeah, Thomas Jarvis seems to be losing spots left and right. He's not fighting these guys just yet. He's letting them go without a fight. But later on, that will change. He will find 5th gear, because now he's just trying to buy his time, get used to the machine's handling with the difference, with the changing track conditions with every single lap. These machines seem to start getting looser in the long run. I noticed there in practice that the longer the run went on, some drivers either got loose or got tight, just depending on the driver's driving style. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens the longer the race goes. And you'll have Ralph, the 36 of Jason Eisenhower, on the inside of the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. And Jason did start in the 19th place spot and currently being shown in the 18th place position. But we have a cluster formed here. Some drivers battling. 33 Vern Markheim, 77 of Brian Wasserman. We have 59 of David White. We also have the 49 of Timothy Hamlet and the 78 of Jeremy Rigney. Jeremy Rigney is one spot higher than the last time we checked on him. But the caution flies this time around. Can I see what happened?
That's going to be the 83 of Hal Amy as we look at the Dre Broadcasting replay. We're going to go back and take a look at the 83 of Hal Amy. Looks like the transition using that lower lane there in the center dog leg as he tried to come back up above the yellow line. The car just got real loose. He lost it, got into the grass, spun around, but doesn't look like anybody else is going to be involved.
Absolutely nice save by Hal Amy, keeping that machine clean on everybody's awareness, not making that worse than it was. And that's the second driver right there, ladies and gentlemen, claimed by the transition between apron and track in the tri-oval. Explains why everybody is avoiding that inside line. You know, it is the shortest way around the track, but it does come with a price. So very unfortunate once again for all drivers claimed by it, but it could have been worse. But going back up front, Steve Dutz still leading and leading everybody down pit road. Yep, so far seems like everybody is on pit road and nobody's staying out. Very surprising. A battle of pit road, ATJ Pryor 9 of Steve Dutz. That was a drag race. Not sure who we gave it to. Looks like Steve Dutz comes out of pit road first. Surprisingly, that was a very close battle between the two drivers. There was some bad wheel spin by Steve Dutz, who almost spun out on the exit. So Steve Dutz comes out first, Jay Pryor second. We have Joshua Gillen coming out third, Adam Eisenhower fourth, and Ralph Vanderforst in the 5th place spot. And Ralph Vanderforst back from the dead. He did go from the 2nd place spot to the back of the pack to about 15th place during the first green flag run, but is now back up in the top 10, just right below the top 5, behind the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to get a word in with the 60 of Leonard West. So interview coming up right now. Well, unfortunately, I cannot seem to get a hold of the 60 of Leonard West, but we're gonna try again later on before the race ends. I'm not sure if we have enough time to get switch to a different driver. Yeah, gonna just try again if we have another caution later on. With the updated top 10, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Dutz, Jay Pryor, Joshua Gillen, Adam Eisenhower, Ralph Vanderforst, Wally Tierheimer, Damian Crump, Jeremy Rigney, Timothy Hamlet, David White, 1st through 10th place respectively, and that will keep changing as the race progresses. So far, Joshua Gillen from 13th place to 3rd place, Wally from 10th to 6th, Damian Crump from 20th to 7th, Jeremy Rigney 17th to 8th, Vern Markheim 15th to 12th, And going back to the 78 of Jeremy Rigney, he's just 3 spots away from his goal tonight at the top 5. Once again, he's in the 8th place spot and 3 spots away from the top 5. There, so far, the door and the keys to the top 5 being held by Mr. High Side himself, Ralph van der Forst. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back 1 to green, still being led by Steve Dutz once again. Joshua Gillen right behind him on the inside. Jay Pryor on the outside with the help of the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. So 56 laps remaining here in tonight's race. So yep, at least 1 more pit stop required in order for the drivers to be able to make it. As we exit turn 4, everybody gets bunched up nice and tight, getting ready for this restart. To avoid getting caught off guard, the pace car dips off. Steve Dutz finds the gas pedal, but the 8-0 of Jay Pryor sees it coming and maintains 2nd place. We have Adam Eisenhower, 40 Joshua Gillen, 75 Wally Tierheimer, all caught sleeping and trying to play catch-up. Some side-by-side between Joshua Gillen and Adam Eisenhower as we speak. But Joshua has a preferred race groove as Adam slides back in line to avoid losing another spot to the 66 of Ralph van der Forst behind. But Mr. High Side himself, Ralph van der Forst, is under fire from the 75 of Tierheimer.
Well, Sean, with just 55 laps to go, though, I mean, they're still going to have to pit in 1 more time, so we're going to have to see at least 1 more pit stop tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to find out exactly what these drivers do, because they all have different pit strategies, ladies and gentlemen. Some decide to run the tanks dry, some decide to follow the majority of the field, and some decide to follow the leader. When it comes down to it, there's the best strategy is just determined by these that's what I'm looking for here. Just cannot find my words here, but the best strategy is just determined by the scenario, the situation. Yeah, the scenario, there we go, is what determines it. So we're going to see exactly what happens when it comes down to it. But as we speak, some drivers are already trying to take while they can, because they are on newer tires. This is when they have the maximum grip for this run. They're trying to take advantage of it as we speak. We have Wally Tierheimer not too far behind Ralph van der Forst. Jeremy Rigney not too far behind. Actually, David White just got around Jeremy Rigney. So Jeremy's going to be trying to get that spot back away from David White. 44, Damien Crump still in the 9th place spot. Timothy Hamlet, the 10th place spot, rounding up the top 10. When behind Timothy Hamlet is a battle side by side for the 11th place spot. Travis Pryor and 13 of Eli Green. We have Travis on the inside, Eli on the outside, but off turn 4 looks like Eli falls short and falls back in line, just falls in line behind Travis Pryor to just get into the faster race groove and avoid losing another spot to the 94 of Garrett Helmlinger. And not sure what happened to Eli Green, but early on he ended up finding himself in the 4th place spot. Well, he was in the 4th place spot, he made up a lot of time and positions, but now he's currently in the 12th place spot. And just seems to be either staying there or dropping back a little bit. So I'm not sure if he's just trying to save gas, save tires, and set himself up for the long run. Or maybe he's just having difficulty getting around the track. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a driver's track. And ladies and gentlemen, a special treat coming to you live right here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. The Crank It Up Cam. Turn up the sounds, turn up the volume, and enjoy the show. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the Crank It Up cam, courtesy of the Dre Broadcasting Network with David Everly. Hope you guys enjoy listening to these mighty machines roaring and singing as one. But here as we speak, Steve Deuce is still in the race lead, 8-0, Jay Pryor second, Adam Eisenhower third, Joshua Gillen fourth, and Wally Tierheimer in the 5th place spot. Is the high side himself, Ralph Vanderforst 6th, Travis Pryor 7th, we have Damon Crump 8th, Jeremy Rigney 9th, and Eli Green rounding up the top 10 in the 10th place position. And as we speak, the 8-0 of Jay Pryor has caught the 9 of Steve Dutz, who was trying to run away. As Jay goes to the inside, they'll be side by side. Entering turn 2, they just might stay side by side still. Slingshot was engaged by the 9 of Steve Dutz, enough to clear Jay before turn number 3. Yes, he clears him and drives it in deep on the outside, entering turn number 3, and that actually puts in, or brings into focus the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Cannot speak, I apologize. But now Adam is now behind the 80 of Jay Pryor. And ladies and gentlemen, Jay Pryor is in the worst scenario, worst spot possible at this point. If he makes a mistake, he'll lose the spots to Steve Dutz still. At the same time, Adam Eisenhower is going to benefit from that. So he's just trying to play it safe, play it smart as Adam to the inside of Jay Pryor, side by side. And all 3 drivers up front changing up their race lines, avoiding the bottom lane at all cost, trying to avoid wearing out those tires pretty quickly, because with these amazing green flag runs we've been having, they will be at a big disadvantage if it goes green and they end up using up the inside line to try and gain those spots. It's about saving now and gaining later, or gaining now and losing later is the way it goes. So once again, saving now, gaining later, or gaining now or losing later. You choose your own poison. But here as we speak, we have Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst, trying to hold off the 75 of Wally Tierheimer. Actually, that was the 81 of Travis Pryor, who just got around Wally on the exit of turn 2. Ooh, and the caution flies this time around. Can I see what happened?
It looks like that's going to involve the 13 of Eli Green here as we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay. He did have the 49 right behind him there as they were running. Ooh, looks like the 49 may give him a bump in the back. He gets into the wall. Heavy damage there to the 13 of Eli Green.
Oh, indeed, and heavy smoke to add on to that. But hopefully Eli Green still has his only backup car, his quick fix, so he can be able to get the KRG machine back on the racing surface. Very unfortunate, though. And as we speak, he's smoking up the track, trying to go down to pit road and avoid blowing that motor. But going back up front, Steve Dutz leading everybody down pit road with 39 laps left and everybody following. I just now noticed this, but we have 2 drivers not racing. 7 of Gary Woobot, including the 28 of Chris Voiles. Gary Woobot lost connection, unfortunately. But 28 of Chris Voiles, in his case, he has a clean machine. But the driver has left the car. So if something tells me maybe he has some internal damage that we might not know about, but that's very unfortunate for Chris Voiles regardless. Well, going back up front, Steve Dutz able to maintain his lead off pit road. Coming up beside him is Adam Eisenhower. Right behind him is 3rd place driver Joshua Gillen, 4th place Jay Pryor, and Ralph Vanderforst in the 5th place position. So Jay Pryor losing 2 spots on pit road to Adam Eisenhower and Joshua Gillen. And this does give us time to get a race interview in, so let's focus on the 78 of Jeremy Rigney.
Sorry, we've already had an interview with him in this race.
Yeah, my apologies. I meant to say the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. Looking at the wrong number while saying the other one. But we are joined up in the booth by the 79 of Thomas Jowers. Good cop there, Thomas. Thomas Jowers, you got a cop there, buddy?
Yeah.
How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm pretty under weather. I got a migraine coming on, I think. I haven't been feeling too good today, but doing my best out here on this racetrack.
Oh, Thomas, we're very sorry to hear about that, man, but that's still not stopping you from bringing your A++ game tonight. But how's the race going so far?
Pretty good. Feel like a yo-yo going back and forth the way I have been tonight.
Oh, 10-4. And we've noticed, Thomas, you've just been taking it easy all race long and staying on the outside line for the most part. How's the machine handling up there?
It's good. This place is just so hard on tires that I'm just taking care of my stuff more than anything. And instead of racing somebody, they get to me, I'm letting them by. You know, I'm worried more about taking care of my tires and being there at the end than anything else.
Oh, most definitely, man, and great strategy saving those tires. Talked about here early on, not too long ago, how you're deciding to save at that moment and gain later, rather than gaining then and losing later on, and that's pertaining to the long run. Well, Thomas Jowers, man, you're doing good so far. We hope the migraine goes down a little bit and actually gets better, or just goes away completely, and make us proud as usual.
I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine who's been feeling pretty under weather. Molly, she hasn't been feeling too good, and just want to let her know I'm thinking about her and hope she feels better.
What's that again? That's Molly?
Molly.
Molly. Well, Molly, if you're watching as well, get well soon, feel better. And Thomas Jowers is really thinking about you. And Thomas, get back to driver's seat. Make us proud as usual.
All right. Well, I hope we'll see you up there in Victory Lane later.
And that was the 79 of Thomas Jowers Jr. In the 12th place spot. He is 11 spots behind his goal for tonight, the win. But up front here we are exiting turn 4, going green, being led by the 9 of Steve Dutz. The pace car dips off and Steve Dutz finds the gas pedal. Had some contact between Adam Eisenhower and Jay Pryor on the restart, but no harm done. We are still rolling. Jay Pryor, though, trying to play catch-up after that incident. Behind the 40 of Joshua Gillen, he just drops back in line to avoid losing the spot against 66 of Ralph Vanderforst. And in line we have 81 Travis Pryor, 75 Wally Tierheimer. And speaking of Travis Pryor, is trying to poke his nose onto the inside of Ralph Vanderforst. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we went green with 35 laps left, now 34 laps left here in tonight's race. With that said, the drivers just might be able to make it, but we'll be sure if we have a caution, we'll know that they'll be able to make it the rest of the way. But at the moment, it is currently on the fence, so we're gonna see exactly how things play out here for the last couple of laps to come. And we have a battle for the 3rd place spot. Jay Pryor, 40 of Joshua Gillen, side by side. The 8-0 Jay Pryor here on the inside, still 40 of Gillen on the outside. Slingshot engaged off turn 2, and the gap between him and Pryor gets nothing but bigger, entering turn 3. And 81 of Travis Pryor coming back with a head of steam. He was in the back of the pack, but now back up front and getting nothing but higher up. Now behind the 8-0 of Jay Pryor as Ralph Vanderforst tries to apply pressure.
Well, here's an interesting fact, though. I mean, we've still got 32 laps to go. These guys have been on their tires for 7 laps. I think they're going to pit again.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. If that's the case, they'll have a chance at getting a splash and go, which means less time on pit road, ladies and gentlemen. Less time on pit road and more time doing damage. At this point, the drivers getting their talking to their pit crews and their teammates out there, trying to calculate how much gas, or trying to figure out how much gas they're burning with every single lap, to figure out exactly just how much gas they'll need when they pit in, depending on how many laps left in the race. So it's going to be interesting to find out exactly how things play out and what they have in store for us when it comes down to it. It's all about trying to outsmart your opponents out there. Well, here for the back in the pack, the 1-2-2 of Aaron Mercer. Man, Aaron Mercer has been getting nothing but higher up in the positions with every single lap. He did start in dead last, 27th, and now all the way up to 11th behind the 33 of Vern Markheim, one spot away from the top 10. And Dave with about 96. Oh man, trouble on the track off turn 4. Adam off the track into pit road. He gets a speeding penalty. The green flag stays out. Oh man, that is not. That's very unfortunate for Adam Eisenhower. All speed, all momentum lost, and a bunch of spots to go with it.
Yeah, let's go back here on the Dre broadcast and replay. See, he was battling with the 9 of Steve Dutz. Got down low, tapped the apron, started coming up. Oh, looks like maybe a little contact there with Steve Dutz, but he gets down in the grass. But as you said, he was definitely speeding on pit road, so he is going to get that penalty as he flies down pit road trying to get back on the track.
Indeed, at this point, he's really hoping for a caution so he can be able to be back on the same pace as everybody else. And the great thing about that, despite him speeding on pit road, he's not going to have serve a penalty because that was caused by contact and shooting him on the track. I mean, off the track onto pit road, and avoiding that caution. So great save by Adam Eisenhower. That was a heck of a save once again. But up front here, Steve Dutz in the race lead with some heavy left front damage as a result of the contact between him and Adam Eisenhower. But despite that, he's still being able to keep up the pace and maintain the race lead against the 40 of Joshua Gillen and the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. Oh man, the 9 of Steve Dutz seems like he's starting to struggle. He is starting to suffer a little bit. That damage is affecting the top end, and the rotation of the machine is pushing up on the exit of turn 4. He lets off to avoid kissing that wall, but no harm. Then he still maintains the race, but it's really attracting a lot of attention. No! 40 just again goes sideways. Gets a bad tap from the 81 of Travis Pryor. He saves it, and the green flag stays out. Oh man, heck of a save by the 40 of Joshua Gillen. And Travis Pryor, 80 of Jay Pryor, backed off to give him enough room to save it. Great sportsmanship. And now up front, the 40 of Gillen going against the 9 of Steve Dutz. Oh, contact! The 40's on his lid. The caution flies on lap 102.
Let's go back, take a look here as we focus on the 40 of Joshua Gillen. See if we can see what happened, but I mean, that was unfortunate running up front there. So as we take a look here at Joshua Gillen, he was running down underneath Steve Dutz. The 80 of looks like Jay Pryor thought he was clear to get behind him, made a little contact there with the 40, and unfortunately that's some heavy damage. Hopefully he's got a backup car.
Oh, indeed, man. Joshua was able to stay out of traffic's way while spinning. Kept the machine under control in a controlled spin, but that's still very unfortunate for him. And I believe he should have his backup car handy, because I don't remember him using it. Excuse me, early on in the race. But going back up front, Steve Dutz leading everybody down pit road and everybody following. as we speak, and it's a very good thing. This caution is a good thing for drivers like Steve Dutz, Adam Eisenhower, because they both had damage. And in the case of Steve Dutz, that heavy damage up front was actually affecting his performance in maintaining that race lead. And now Adam Eisenhower, in his case, is able to get back on these back to pace with everybody else. But he still has a lot of work to do. But now Steve Dutz rolling off pit road as we speak this time around. Yes, he maintains his lead off pit road. Coming up behind him is 81 Travis Pryor, 3rd place. Ralph Vanderforst, 4th place. Wally Tierheimer and Jay Pryor in the 5th place spot. But Jay Pryor is going to go at the end of the longest line, unfortunately. So 5th place driver now is 33 of Vern Markheim. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Dave said it right there. We appreciate all your love and support on the Facebook page and here on the YouTube page here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. We can never ever thank you guys enough. You guys helped us reach our goal of 500 subscribers in actually less than a year. And that was nearly impossible. You know, it's very impossible for most for most of the broadcasters out there. But Dre Broadcasting Network was not impossible, but very possible, thanks to you guys. So once again, thank you very much. Ooh, up front here, the 40 of Joshua Gillen did decide to stay out and is now the new race leader, but he's going to be going down pit road the next time around. Well, if he does not go down pit road, it's going to be a bad day for him because the machine has seen better days and it's going to suffer a lot getting up to speed and also on the top end side. But yep, he should most likely be going down pit road this time around. Updated top 10: Joshua Gillen, Steve Dutz, Travis Pryor, Ralph Vanderforst, Wally Tierheimer, Garrett Helmlinger, Brian Wasserman, Eli Green, Aaron Mercer, and the 33 of Vernon Markheim, 1st through 10th respectively, and Aaron Mercer still being the heaviest mover this far from 27th to 9th place. Last time we checked on Aaron, he was in 11th place, but now 2 spots higher. Ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers there in the chat, first of all, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network, and you're watching this live. This is the Extreme Motorsports 99.com, the Pennzoil 400. That's Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15. Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. Check them out, ladies and gentlemen. On Monday nights, they have a Pro K&N Series. This one you see right before you. Tuesday nights, Track Series. So both Mondays and Tuesday nights, Pro K&N Series and Track Series, brought to you live by the Dre Broadcasting Network. On Wednesday nights, Xfinity Series, that's Xfinity Series or B-Car Series, brought to you live by the Online Sim Racing Network with Joe White. And Thursday nights as well, the Cup Series, the best of the best, brought to you live as well by the Online Sim Racing Network with Joe White. So check them out once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and you're not going to be disappointed. So once again, check them out. And surprisingly up front, we are 1 to green, but Joshua Gillen stayed out with this. Despite his damage. Gonna see exactly how this plays out. So Joshua Gillen in the lead with the help of Travis Pryor. 9 of Steve Dutz up front on the outside with the help of Mr. High Side himself, Ralph Vanderforst, going green. Yeah, Joshua might have difficulty getting up to speed, but the pace car dips off. He finds the gas pedal immediately, but despite him jumping the restart, the 9 of Steve Dutz sees it coming and gets around him before turn 1. And yes, Joshua is going to get freight trained. It's going to get worse for him before it gets better. Gets passed by 81 of Travis Pryor. Next in line, Ralph Vanderforst. Next in line, Wally Tierheimer. Actually, yeah, roadblock. Nope, Wally going up high. 3 wide, 4 wide against the 40 of Joshua Gillen, but no harm done. Oh man, he's way under speed so far. Everybody getting around him. As though he's sitting. Oh, contact! Ford of Gillen goes sideways on the track, in the grass. The green flag still stays out. Oh, that was unfortunate for the drivers that involved in that one. But Joshua Gillen getting the worst end of that deal from the looks of it. Joshua Gillen is out, has used his backup car there early on in the race. That's very unfortunate. But he is still determined to get the job done regardless, still on the track. Getting up to speed as we speak, but going back up front, Steve Dutz in the race lead, but is being challenged by the 81 of Travis Pryor. But so far, single file.
Yeah, Steve Dutz has done a good job. He's led 87 laps here as we're 18 laps to go. But I tell you what, the 81 of Travis Pryor got the pole. He is wanting to get back out front. He is not going to let Steve Dutz just run away.
Oh no, he will not. He's gonna fight until the death. And the third place driver as well, Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst, just hoping that the two drivers up front battle, which they are doing. So he's gonna pull them in slowly but surely with every single lap. As right now, Garrett Helmling are trying to make his presence known in the rear view and on the rear end of Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst. We talked to the 79 of that was Thomas Jowers. He talked about how this track is very difficult, it's very hard on the tires. So with that said, these drivers still saving as we speak. Only a few more laps left here, 16 laps remaining, just 6 more laps to the 10 to go mark. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this would be a good time to take a final commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pennzoil 400. That's a Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15 Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N Series. But here the caution has now flown on lap number 118. Gonna see if we can find exactly what happened.
That's going to involve the 05 of Tommy Amassi here, so let's go back on the replay as we see the 05 battling with the 112, and also the 49 there is... Oh, looks like some contact in the 112 and the 05 up into the outside wall. Doesn't look like anybody else involved, but this is definitely going to shake things up here as we're 7 laps to go.
Oh, indeed, man. Less than 10 laps to go. And unfortunately for the drivers who've been involved in that, to have to go at the back of the pack once they go down pit road to get that damage fixed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is go time. It has been go time. And you're going to be seeing a couple of shootouts here for the checkered flag. So get your popcorn ready. Get your drinks ready. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And your seatbelts ready too. So 3 to 4 seatbelts on. Nothing less than that. Well, going back up front, Steve Deuce is leading. And leading everybody down pit road with less than 10 laps to go. Oh no, he's faking everybody. He almost spins out doing it. Oh, 3 wide. Big contact between 81 of Travis Pride and Ralph Vanderforst. Faking gone wrong. That's unfortunate. But that should not be too bad of damage because they weren't going that fast at all. So Steve Dute still leading, Travis Pryor second, Ralph Vanderforst third, Wally Tierheimer fourth, and Eli Green in the 5th place spot, rounding up the top 5. And ladies and gentlemen, going back to the Extreme Motorsports, check them out at extrememotorsports99.com. Like I had said, it's round 13 of 15. So with that said, here in the Pro K&N Series, it's coming to an end. Only 2 more races left after tonight's race in the Pro K&N Series. So with that said, to be a part of the action, and by that I mean if you'd like to be a driver next season, you have to qualify. You have to have a minimum of 1,000 I rating. That is 1,000 I rating with a maximum of 2,500 I rating. So maximum 2,500 or 2,500 and minimum of 1,000 I rating. So check them out at extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X, extrememotorsports99.com. And tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, is Chase Race 3 of 5 in the Track Series on Thursday nights. I mean, on Wednesday night is round 3 of the Xfinity Series Chase Race. And also on Thursday is round 3 of the Extreme Motorsports Cup Series Chase Race number 3 as well. So be sure to check that out as well. Well, here with 6 laps left in tonight's, actually scratch that now, 5 laps remaining in tonight's race. We have Brian Wasserman in the 6th place spot. We have Adam Eisenhower 7th, Garrett Helmlinger 8th, Thomas Jarvis Jr. 9th, and Jason Eisenhower in the 10th place spot. And a status check on the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen actually had a backup car that he did not use. Looks like he thought, you know, these machines are tanks, ladies and gentlemen, so I don't blame him for not using his backup car when the damage was looking that bad, because like we have seen in the past, looks can be deceiving. Like for example, in the when we went for round number 11 Talladega, we had 28 of Chris Voyles, who had some bad damage at Talladega, and that track is all about having a clean machine, but despite that, he was still able to keep up and win that race. So Joshua tried to stay out of the damaged machine, but the damage was actually worse than he thought, but he's now back with a brand new one, but unfortunately 3 laps down. Well, so here tonight we have Steve Dutes going for his 3rd win of the season. We have Travis going for his 5th win of the season. And Wally Tierheimer going for his 1st win. And same with the 66 of Ralph Vanderforst. Oh, a new viewer in the chat. We have Martha Tierheimer. Welcome back, Martha. Hope you're doing well tonight. It's been a while. Well, I saw you last week, but it's been long enough. Hope you're doing well. And the lights and the pace car do turn off, yes they do. Being led by Steve Dutz with the help of Ralph Vanderforst. On the outside line, 81 of Travis Pryor with the help of 75 of Wally Tierheimer. We have a 3-lap shootout coming up, ladies and gentlemen. 3-lap shootout, and the next flag ends the race. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a bumpy ride, so I suggest you put those seatbelts on nice and tight. 3 to 4 like as usual. 1 or 2 is not going to do it. You're going to find yourself out of your seat in no time. And put the popcorn and the drinks away, because you do not want to make a mess. And the driver is getting biased up nice and tight, getting ready for the final restart of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Next flag ends the race, and these restarts are where you can either gain or lose spots. And let's get it done. Oh, the pace car dips off, and Steve Dutz finds the gas, but oh man, wheel spin by both Steve Dutz and Travis Pryor. No harm done though, still green flag racing. Ralph Vanderforst gets overtaken by Wally Tierheimer, but now Ralph propels, entering turn number 1, and Wally left out high and dry, going from 3rd place to 5th place here in one turn as Eli Green to the inside of Ralph Vanderforst, side by side. Oh man, Brian Wasserman trying to make his presence known as well. Trying to battle the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, whose machine is pushing up very, very tight. Oh man, almost had some contact. Adam Eisenhower, Brian Wasserman sideways. The caution is going to fly. Yes, it does. That ends the race under caution. Very unfortunate. Let's back it up and see what happened.
As we take a look here on 77 of Brian Wasserman, him and the 86 of Adam Eisenhower making contact here on the front stretch. Looks like 3 wide action. Brian Wasserman right there, and then just contact between Brian Wasserman and Adam Eisenhower, enough to bring out the caution in this race under the yellow.
Yeah, indeed, man. That's unfortunate for both drivers involved. Going from the top 10 to further back in the pack, about the top 20, maybe top 25. That's still very unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. A sudden turn of events for the drivers who worked so hard all race long until the very end there when things turned around for the worst. But going back up front, we are being led by Steve Dutz, Travis Pryor 2nd, Ralph Vanderforst 3rd, Eli Green 4th, and Wally Tierheimer in the 5th place spot. And no worries there, Martha, as long as you made it, man. As long as you made it, it's great to see you. Good to have you. And this is the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. We are exiting turn number 3, turn number 4 for the final time here in tonight's race, with Steve Dutz gonna bring this thing home at pace speed 60 miles an hour. Oh, yep, Steve Dutz having his 3rd win right here, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Travis Pryor coming out 2nd, Ralph Vanderforst 3rd, Eli Green 4th, Wally Tierheimer 5th, Garrett Helmlinger 6th, Jason Eisenhower 7th, Jeremy Rigney 8th, Thomas Jarvis Jr. 9th, and Aaron Mercer in the 10th place spot, rounding up the top 10. Well, ladies and gentlemen, interviews coming up. Top 3 drivers and a special guest. Steve Dutz, Travis Pryor, Ralph Vanderforst, and a special guest. So please stay tuned. And also a smoke show coming up before too long by Steve Dutz. Or from Steve Dutz.
Yeah, it was close.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are being joined up in the Dre broadcasting booth by the top 3 drivers, and a special guest tonight. We have Steve Dutz, Travis Pryor, Ralph Vanderforst, and our special guest here tonight being the 18 of Rick Mason. We saw a heck of a smoke show by tonight's winner, the 9 of Steve Dutz. But for the interviews, we're going to start with the our special guest, the 18 of Rick Mason. Get up there, Rick.
Yes, sir, I got you.
How you doing tonight?
Well, I wish my finish was a little bit better, but other than that, it was a fun race.
Oh, indeed, man. You brought your A-plus game as usual. Stayed alive all race long, despite the ups and downs all race long. And how's the machine handling tonight? Did it seem to meet your expectations?
Yeah, actually, it dialed in a lot better than it was in practice, and that was just a few tweaks here and there. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it, and I think the frequent pit stops helped with the fresh tires and things like that. So yeah, it was all good.
Oh, 10-4. Very glad to hear about that. And what did you have to do to get ready for tonight's race?
Just practice. This is one of the tougher tracks for me. Just turn 4. But I was just practicing most of the week and getting as much practice in as possible, and that helped tremendously. Making some car adjustments as far as the wheel and a few other things. But yeah, you got to put the time in, and that pays off.
Oh, indeed, man. You did an amazing job there all race long tonight. Look forward to seeing you again next week as we go to Michigan Speedway. And before you go celebrate, any final words?
No, just appreciate it. It was a lot of fun tonight, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Well, congrats on your race here tonight, and see you again next week. Go celebrate, buddy. Have a good night.
10-4. Thank you.
And that was our special guest, the 18 of Rick Mason. But next in line is third place driver, Mr. High Side himself, Ralph Vanderforst. Get a cup there, Ralph.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, good. Having fun.
Oh, man, it's been way too long. I've been spoken to you in a while, it seems like. But, man, tonight you were able to live up to your name, Mr. High Side at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. How's your race tonight?
I didn't get a lot of practice at the track, so learning the high line from Steve and Travis, it seemed to really save on that tire wear. So if I'd have learned that high groove earlier, I think I might have had something for them other two. But man, those guys were fast.
Oh, indeed. And, Ralph, you say you did not, you didn't get too much practice tonight, but you were still able to somehow qualify in second place with a 29.469. Very impressive. Only 0.02 of a second behind the pole sitter 81 of Travis Pryor. Very impressive once again. But, man, your machine was one of the faster ones out there, despite you not thinking that you had a fast machine. And what did you have to do tonight to be successful, despite, because we noticed a couple of drivers getting a little bit tight on the outside?
You really just had to save those tires, and then after about 15 laps, you were really making up on the ones who chose to burn them up early.
Oh, most definitely, man. Sounds like a plan, and nicely executed on your part here tonight, starting second and finishing a third place spot on the podium. Well, before you go celebrate, Ralph, any final words?
Just enjoying the season, and I'd like to thank all the admins for all they do. They really put up with a lot, and thank you guys for broadcasting. And that was a lot of green flag laps tonight. I had hats off to all them other drivers there for keeping it green. That was enjoyable, a lot of fun.
Well, congrats here tonight, Ralph, and see you again next week in Michigan. Go celebrate and have a good night.
You guys too.
That was Ralph Vanderforst, Mr. High Side himself, finishing third. But next in line is the post sitter and the standings leader, the 81 of Travis Pryor. Get a cup there, Travis.
Yes, I do.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I think the race could have been a little better, but I'm still doing pretty good. I had fun.
You know, Travis going from 3rd place to 2nd place, or from 3rd place last week to finishing 2nd place this week at Las Vegas. In tonight's race, you know, things didn't go your way for the most part. At one point, you ended up finding yourself in the back of the pack and had to do it all over again. How's your experience going through the field like that and still somehow saving tires in the process?
Yeah, beginning of the race, if you're racing around Steve Dukes at any track, any race, any car, you got to race him as hard as you can, and or else he's just gonna pull from you. So I had the chance to get on the outside of him. I pushed a little too much, hit the outside wall, and next pit stop, I decided to take the optional repairs and not use that fast repair. I figured I might need it later, so that's how I got in the back. But coming through the field, there's really not any conserving tires. I couldn't really conserve that many couldn't conserve tires right there. I think I was in the back like maybe lap 50, and I didn't get up until the top 5 till lap 100 or so, maybe a little bit after. So you definitely had to work for it to get back up to the field, and I'm just glad everything was able to go my way and be able to get back up here and try to fight for this win.
Almost definitely, man, and a heck of an eventful race on your part from your perspective, and well executed. And congrats on qualifying on the pole, leading in points today. Starting tonight's race this week, you were 33 points ahead of 2nd place driver Wally Tiaheimer, and we're gonna see exactly how that plays out coming to next week's race at Michigan for race number 14. Well, buddy, congrats on your success all season long as usual, and it's always nice speaking to you. And before we go celebrate, any final words?
I just want to say thanks to Pat T for still staying strong and watching all these broadcasts and races and supporting me and my Uncle Jay. I want to thank Maverick Motorsports. We did a great job tonight, being able to communicate to each other and figure out what was working best. Thanks for everyone that was watching, and thanks for everyone that puts these extreme races together. All these admins do a great job, and still, y'all are still doing a great job broadcasting these races. I can't thank you all enough.
Well, congrats on your success here tonight, bringing the autism awareness machine on the pole again, in the podium again, almost every single week. Look forward to seeing you again next week in Michigan. Have a good night. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
That was the 81 of Travis Pryor, 2nd place finisher tonight. But next in line is tonight's winner, winning last week's race at Chicagoland and tonight's race as well. The 9 of Steve Dukes for his 3rd win in the season. Get a cup there, Steve.
Yeah, I got you guys.
I did tonight.
Great. Oh my gosh, this one was the one. This one was really hard to get. Oh, I can't thank Travis enough and Jay. God, they were pushing. When you're racing around them, you literally got to go 100%. There is really no conserving tires. Track was out there, was like a damn cheese grater all the time, just eating the tires up. But I think tonight was a pretty good night and showcased our talents out there with the number 9 crew.
Oh yeah, man! And last week, Steve, you talked about it during the interview how you were planning. Your plan was to shift the momentum over, and you did just that, despite a lot of opposition coming your way. Competition-wise, with the other drivers out there. And speaking of saving tires, what was your strategy? Despite you battling like that, what was going through your mind, knowing that you're not saving tires and battling people, and you end up maybe losing a lot of time in the long run?
Yeah, I was just trying to stay on the high lane the entire time because that's just the longest way around, but it saves your tires as much as you can. And I was following Travis in the first beginning stages of the race, and I was like, I just can't beat him. When we had that first pit stop, and I was like, oh, everyone else is running the high lane, so I might as well just try that. And I was then keeping up with them, and then just ran the high lane the whole race, and I think that's what saved us the whole time.
Oh man, yeah, what a heck of a race on your part here tonight, Steve. Success last week, success this week, and definitely success next week. And speaking of next week there, Steve, we're moving on to a different track, a flat track, a very bumpy one at the same time, Michigan International. What are expectations for Michigan, man? How much experience do you have?
I mean, that's my home track. I've been racing there for forever since I've had iRace, and that was the first extra track I bought. I've loved that track to death. It's literally about half an hour away from my house. I go almost every year. It's fantastic. I love that track. Just wish they would add the repave at some point in iRacing, but I love that track to death.
Well, man, we look forward to seeing your 4th win right there in Michigan next week, and congrats once again on your success. Don't get tired of speaking to us. It's always nice seeing you up here in the booth every single race that you race here with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. And any final words before we go celebrate?
I want to thank you guys up in the booth, all the admins here at Extreme. I want to thank my mom, my dad, my brother. I know they're probably going to watch this sometime. I want to thank my girlfriend. Love you, baby. Thank Wally for doing these great calls and being a hell of a teammate. Just want to thank everybody out here. I want to thank Travis for putting on a hell of a show with me, and Jay, because it was fantastic.
Well, congrats on your success here tonight again, Steve, and see you again next week at Michigan. Have a good night. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
That was the 9 of Steve Deuce, tonight's winner, having his 3rd win of the season right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Pennzoil 400, round 13 of 15. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of the action here tonight with the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Pro K&N Series. Well, that only means one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's race is over in the Pro K&N Series, but now only 2 more races left before the season ends. That's 2 more races left before the season ends. That's next week, the Careers for Veterans 200. Careers for Veterans 200 at Michigan International. Then to end the season, round 15, that's going to be the Chevy Crate 200. That's the Chevy Crate 200 at Homestead, Miami. And thank you very much for being a part of the action. And also check out the Extreme Motorsports at their website, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And once again, to qualify for the Pro K&N Series, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 I rating with a maximum of 2,500 I rating, and you're not going to be disappointed. So please check them out. I am Sean Zulu, and David Everly behind the cameras. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow night is Chase Race number 3, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Track Series. That's right, Track Series right here at Las Vegas Speedway. That's going to be the Las Vegas 350 Chase Race 3 of 5. Once again, and the tracks do handle a lot different when it comes to such tracks. So a lot more side by side tomorrow night. We saw a lot of side by side here tonight, but a lot more coming up tomorrow night. So be sure to tune in right here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. I am Sean Zulu, and David Everly behind the cameras. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, and see you again next race.